Hello, dear kababayan. Have you noticed more and more signs in Japanese, Korean, even Chinese appearing in provinces that used to feel quiet and untouched? Foreign specialists stepping off at local airports, convoys carrying international corporate logos rolling through small towns, and investment contracts being signed far from Manila, yet quietly reshaping lives right there at home. Money from outside is flowing into the Philippines. But the real question is, who is it building the future for? Today, Pinoy Global Explorer will explore with you 5 provinces now receiving powerful waves of foreign investment, and how this is reshaping the dreams, the opportunities, and even the trade-offs for Filipinos. If you've ever heard about a new factory opening near your hometown, or watched land prices double almost overnight, then this story may be closer to you than you think. Number 1. Cavite, when the world builds its factories right beside Manila. If you stand outside an industrial park in General Trias at 6 in the evening, you'll see something that would have been hard to imagine 15 years ago. Japanese signboards hanging high above the gates, Korean conglomerate names printed boldly across steel walls, foreign specialists walking out side by side with Filipino engineers after their shift. Cavite does not loudly declare itself the country's biggest investment hub. Yet in recent years, the Calabazon region, where Cavite plays a crucial role, has consistently ranked among the strongest areas for manufacturing and export projects, according to agencies like PISA and BOI. Hundreds of foreign-funded enterprises now operate here, particularly in electronics, components, and industrial equipment. That reality does not live only in reports. It shows up in everyday life. Before sunrise, streams of motorcycles head toward the economic zones. Boarding houses near the factories fill up quickly. Small eateries outside company gates grow crowded with every shift change. You can feel it clearly. The world is working right here on Cavite soil. I once heard a father say his son chose to study engineering because there are foreign factories here. He won't be unemployed. That sentence stayed with me. And foreign direct investment does not just create jobs, it quietly shapes what young people choose to study and whether they decide to stay or leave. But that presence also brings pressure. Land prices and rents rise quickly in areas close to the factories. Those with stronger skills benefit more, while unskilled workers face fiercer competition than before. So Cavite is both pride and reminder. Pride, because the Philippines can attract global corporations to manufacture here. A reminder, or because opportunity only lasts when local communities are truly prepared to seize it. If you live here and see foreign flags flying outside factory gates every day, do you take it as a signal to rise or as pressure to change? Number 2, Laguna, where foreign investment has taken root for decades. If Cavite shows foreign capital accelerating, Laguna tells a different story. Long-term, structured presence. Since the 1990s, industrial parks in Santa Rosa, Biñan, and Calamba have strongly attracted Japanese and Korean corporations. Major names in automotive, electronics, and semiconductors built factories here not as a short-term trend, but as part of long-range strategies. According to PISA data, over many years, Laguna has consistently ranked among the provinces with the highest number of registered enterprises inside economic zones nationwide. That has created industrial depth. In Santa Rosa, car assembly plants operate alongside surrounding parts suppliers. An ecosystem has formed, from design engineers and maintenance technicians to supporting supply chains. Foreign investment here is not just new buildings rising from the ground. It is a production network directly connected to global markets. That stability changes how a family sees the future. Multiple generations in one household can work within the same industrial cluster. A father in assembly, a son in the technical department, a grandchild studying mechanical engineering or IT to move into a higher segment of the value chain. But that same stability also creates a quiet dependency. When the global economy slows and orders decline, and the impact is felt almost immediately. Laguna is tightly linked to international markets, and while that connection brings better income, it also makes the province sensitive to forces beyond its control. What I appreciate about Laguna is its spirit of adaptation. Instead of remaining in simple assembly work, many firms have upgraded their production lines, shifting toward higher-value products. Local workers are gradually receiving more formal training, and industrial discipline has become part of the work culture. Laguna is not flashy, but it proves that when foreign investment is managed well and sustained over time, a province can build a durable manufacturing foundation. And it is that quiet resilience that has become this place's unspoken pride. Number 3, Cebu. When foreign investment meets a city that was already ready, not every province grows because of factories. Cebu tells a different story, a place where foreign investors found a city that already had infrastructure, talent, and the ambition to face the world. In Cebu IT Park and commercial districts in Mandaue, the signboards of American, Australian, and European companies appear everywhere. The IT BPM and outsourcing sector here has expanded strongly over many years, and turning Cebu into one of the largest technology and services hubs outside Metro Manila. Industry reports consistently place Cebu among the leading localities in outsourcing revenue and workforce size. That has shaped a very distinct image. By day, the seaport moves containers in and out for global trade. By night, office towers remain lit as teams work on US time zones, a provincial city, yet operating on a global rhythm. The presence of foreign firms in Cebu is not only about salaries that are higher than the local average. It has opened new career paths: data analytics, design, project management, software engineering. Many young professionals no longer need to leave the Visayas to find internationally connected work. Yet rapid growth always carries pressure. Property prices in central districts have climbed sharply over the past decade, and higher living costs push some workers to live farther from where they work. The gap between those in global service industries and those in traditional sectors becomes more visible. Cebu therefore carries two faces at once. On one side, the confidence of a regional hub with an international airport, a strategic seaport, and an English-proficient workforce. On the other, the ongoing challenge of balancing growth with affordability for local residents. What makes Cebu admirable is that it does not attract investment merely because it is cheaper, but because it is capable. And when a province is chosen for its capability, its place on the national map inevitably shifts. From Luzon to Visayas, the story of foreign investment takes many forms. In the next province, we will see an even more striking example, a place once known as a foreign military base, now standing as a symbol of economic rebirth. Number 4, Pampanga, from military base to global investment hub. Some places attract foreign investment because of low costs. Clark attracts it because of history and location. Once a United States Air Force base, the Clark area in Pampanga was redeveloped into a special economic zone after American forces withdrew in the early 1990s. From land once tied to strategic military memory, Clark gradually transformed into a center for logistics, aviation, and international services. Today, Clark Freeport Zone hosts hundreds of local and foreign enterprises spanning aviation, aircraft maintenance, technology, and support services. The recent expansion of Clark International Airport has strengthened its position as an alternative gateway to Metro Manila. According to economic zone authorities, Clark consistently ranks among the top investment destinations in central Luzon. The presence of foreign companies here carries a different tone compared to Cavite or Laguna. It is not only about manufacturing plants, but pilot training centers, aircraft maintenance facilities, and global service offices. The rhythm feels distinctly international. Long-term foreign specialists, multinational communities forming around the Freeport area. Clark projects an image of a Philippines capable of running more complex industries, not just assembling products, but managing, maintaining, and operating large-scale systems. Yet transformation also brings challenges. And the gap between the well-planned Freeport Zone and the surrounding traditional communities still exists. Opportunities concentrate heavily in high-skill sectors, while many workers must gradually adapt to new standards and expectations. Clark therefore stands as a symbol of economic rebirth, but also a reminder that rebirth does not spread evenly on its own. From a former foreign military base, Pampanga has turned an old chapter of history into a foundation for its economic future. That kind of transformation creates a quiet pride. The past is not erased, but redefined. The final province on our list will take us south, where foreign investment carries yet another shade, closely tied to agriculture and the broader strategy of Mindanao. Number 5. Davao. When foreign investment reaches Mindanao, not everyone thinks of Mindanao when talking about foreign investment. But in Davao, the presence of international enterprises is quietly shaping a different path of development, one built less on electronics assembly or outsourcing and more on export agriculture, food processing, and regional logistics. Davao has long been the largest economic center in Mindanao. Bananas, pineapples, cacao, and other agricultural products from this region are exported to Japan, the Middle East, and other Asian markets. The participation of foreign companies in supply chains and processing has helped raise standards in production, management, and packaging to meet international requirements. The change is not only in the fields. Ports and logistics infrastructure have been upgraded to support exports. Industrial parks in Davao City and nearby areas are attracting more processing firms, warehousing operations, and support services. The capital flow is not as massive as in Luzon, but it is steady enough to build a more stable economic ecosystem for the South. What stands out in Davao is a sense of regional self-reliance. Foreign investment here does not simply turn the province into a satellite of Manila. Instead, it strengthens Mindanao's role as its own growth center. Many families no longer see leaving the island as their only path to opportunity. Still, challenges remain, and agriculture's dependence on export markets makes incomes vulnerable when global demand shifts. At the same time, meeting international standards requires producers to continuously upgrade their skills and management practices. Davao therefore represents another direction for the Philippines, not only industrialization, but the modernization of agriculture and the expansion of the value chain. From Cavite to Laguna, Cebu to Clark, and now Davao. Each place reveals a different way foreign investment is touching Filipino lives. And when you step back and look at the whole picture, what stands out is not just the flow of money from abroad, but how each province is choosing its own path to turn opportunity into its future. Foreign capital may begin with contracts and numbers, but in the end, it always reaches something deeply human, where people work, raise children, and decide whether to stay in their hometown or move on. From factory-driven Cavite, resilient industrial Laguna, globally paced Cebu, history reborn Clark, to rising Davao in Mindanao. Each province is telling its own story of how the Philippines steps into the world without leaving itself behind. Thank you for journeying with Pinoy Global Explorer today. If these stories made you reflect on the future of your own hometown, then stay with us. There are still many perspectives worth being quietly proud of, waiting to be explored.